Hi everybody, I'm Elena, I'm librarian here at the Barbara Moscato Brown Library, and I am here to show you how to make our take-home book folding project. We're going to have several of these craft kits available, and we're going to keep giving them out until we run out. So come and get yours early if you're interested. And I definitely recommend, if you're planning on doing this for somebody as a holiday present, that you pick up your craft kit early, because it does take some time. It's a fairly easy craft, but it's time consuming and it is a labor of love, and the final product looks really, really pretty. It's a wonderful gift for somebody in your family. So what are you going to get in your craft kit? First thing you're going to receive is a copy of one of these encyclopedia books. And since the books are all about the same size, we've been able to determine exactly how many pages you're going to need to fold for the pattern to work out for this size book. So if you decide to do this project with a book you have at home, you may have to recalculate your math so that your page numbers match up. So you'll get the book. You're going to get a template like this that shows you how to fold the pages across, how many times. You'll get written out instructions, and you'll also receive this big rubber band that'll help you hold down the books, and something that I'm calling an edge assistant, and this will help you make nice, clean, crisp folds in your book. And the last thing that you're going to get is a little paintbrush and a container of either gold or silver paint, whichever one you choose, so that if you want, when you complete the project, you can gild or paint the edges to make a nice little additional effect for it. So let's get right into the project. The first thing that you want to do is we want to make sure that we have our sample sheet ready. Oh, you're also going to need a pencil, because you're going to want to mark your pages. So get out your craft sheet, and then the next thing that you want to decide is where along the edge of the book you're going to fold. Now, I would recommend starting anywhere from halfway to backwards, because if you go less than halfway out to the front of the page, you're not going to really have enough room to fold to create that 3D effect that you want. So wherever you decide that you're going to make your folds, you want to take your pencil and just make a straight of a line and as deep of a line as you can. You can even use a little knife if you want to scour that edge, so that when you open up the book, there's a little mark there and you know exactly where you need to make your fold. The next thing you're going to do is get started on the folding. So you always want to let your first couple of pages be loose. And we've calculated that for every single line on this design, you want to fold over 2 pages. So that's exactly how we're going to start this. We're going to take our first page, and we're going to find our marking at the top. And then we're going to line the very edge of our template up with that marking line as best we can. It does take a little bit of finagling. I find that folding over the very top of the sheet like this helps a little bit, because then you can kind of use it as a lip to hold on to the page as you line it up. So now that we've got our page lined up with our starting point, we need to know where our folds are going to be made. So for this, you want to line up your marking to the very edge of the page and mark the top and the bottom of the first line in your set, or whatever line that you're working on. And this is going to be your top and your bottom fold. So then we take our folding tool and we line one side up with the mark that we made on the outer edge, and the other side is going to align with our top edge marker, and that's where we actually make our first folds. And we're going to do the same thing at the bottom, because you will have wanted to make your marker line at the top and the bottom of your book. This will just make things a lot easier for you moving forward. Now, don't worry if some of your pages overlap like this. We can cut them out, or they can just stay folded over. They're not going to really get in the way. Once you get a few pages in, you will notice that you have a gap in your lines. This gap is meant to be cut out. So once you get to that point, we're going to switch off. We'll move to a book that I've got a little bit farther done. So once you get to the point where your lines start, you're essentially going to do the same thing that you've done with your top and bottom marking points, but you're going to make 2 additional points in the center to mark the top and the bottom of your gap line. So I would be making 1 line at the top. Line this up. 1 marker at the top, 1 marker in the middle marking the top of my gap, the bottom of my gap, and then at the bottom of my line. When I go to make the folds, the only places I'm making folds is at the top and the bottom lines of my heart. Once I get the folds done, I've already decided that I'm going to make my gap about 1/2 inch into the book. So I just kind of draw the line out a little bit farther. And then you're going to want to get a pair of scissors from home, which I did not bring over to do the crafting, but you will cut out this little gap for each page as you go. Now you've got a couple of different options for this. You can go through and fold everything first, making sure to continue making the markings for your well on every page, and then go back through and cut the well markings separately. You do want to make sure that you're marking them as you do each page though. Or you can fold and cut each page as you go. Regardless of which process you choose, you're going to end up with a really lovely result. This is about halfway done, and when it's all completed, your book should look something like this. Now our version is going to be a slightly wider heart because the book that we're using as opposed to this picture example has a lot more pages, but it should come out looking fairly similar to this if you've done everything right. Well, we hope you enjoy this craft. Come and pick one up at the library. Let us know if you want a gold or a silver pack, and happy crafting. I'll see you next time.